Dear students, let us start the discussion on today's newspaper, that is 28th December 2016. The first article is Afghanistan, India and Trump. Here, let us see the Afghanistan, Pakistan and India relations across the lens of Karzai's presidency, Ghani's presidency, and Musharraf and Sharif's regime in Pakistan. Now, if you see, the Bush has launched the war against terror after 9/11 attacks in United States of America. And after that, his focus has shifted away from Afghanistan and then moved towards Iraq. And then it has become the responsibility of the Obama to stabilize Afghanistan. But however, his resources are limited, and added to that, the Pakistan has to become an ally to United States, a close ally, and a trusted partner to United States in this war against terror in Afghanistan. So that's why Mr. Obama he has appointed a special representative to Af-Pak region, Mr. Richard Holbrooke. And in spite of this, Obama's policy towards the region is more of a carrot and stick policy. He even called this Af-Pak region as a theater of terror to signify it to the global politics. Now, let me give you one reference. Whenever any country tried to occupy the Afghanistan, it has led to a colossal failure. Let me say the Russia, the USSR, it has tried to occupy the Afghanistan and it has finally led to collapse of the USSR. That is the stepping stone for the collapse of the USSR. So, what is Vietnam to United States? The Afghan war is to the USS, Soviet Russia. So, in this context, let us see the Karzai. Now, Karzai, he has described the role of Pakistan or the importance of Pakistan as a brother and a conjoined twin. And according to him, India is an old friend, but Pakistan is inalienable with its interests in Afghanistan. So, in this, there is a huge porous border between Pakistan and Afghanistan across the Durand line. So, the Pakistan and its role is critical for the stability in Afghanistan because of border proximity. And because of the Musharraf and tantrums thrown by the Musharraf, there is no durable peace. And ISIS also never wanted to have the role of India in Afghanistan. And India's role was always of a goodwill diplomacy. And when Ghani has become the president of Afghanistan, his position itself is unstable because the national unity government, no party has the majority, and there are many internal squabbles over there. In spite of this, he tried to reapproach the Pakistan and even tried to meet their demand to dissociate or to keep the India away from the affairs of the Afghanistan. In this case, a quadrilateral coordination group was formed with Pakistan, China, Afghanistan, and United States to negotiate with Taliban. The Murree talks were initiated, and these talks did not move forward. Again, Pakistan played the spoil sport, and that has led to the irritation of the President Ghani, and he has strengthened his relations with India then after. The defense relationship and also the developmental aid from India is increasing from time to time to Afghanistan. Now, the China, Russia, Pakistan, these are coming together for a meet on Afghanistan and the future of the Afghanistan. If you see, Russia from very beginning stating that Afghanistan problem shall have a regional solution. It means it wants to keep the United States out of this solution. And growing Sino-Russian relations, strong Sino-Russian relations, is also can be stated as a reason for changing geostrategies in this particular part of the world. So, in this case, the Trump presidency, what it can look after in the Afghanistan. Now, after Obama, the things are going to be much worsened as Mr. Trump is not interested in making his military's presence on the Afghanistan. And second is, already there is a skeletal presence of United States forces. It was an expensive war for US around $800 billion, which is much higher than the Marshall Plan, which was invested after World War II for reconstruction of Europe. So, obviously, he will not be interested. If he is interested for the stability of the Afghanistan, then India will be a trusted partner. That's what this article tries to explore. And coming to passport to reform. Now, in India's governance, especially in public service delivery, many complex rules and addressing these rules is the major challenge. And also, the work process and information sought from the citizen is too complex and is not changing from time to time. The passports are the great example to this. Now, as the society is changing, single parents are increasing. Even today, passport asks for the name of both the parents, especially the father's name, with regard to the awarding of passport to a child. Now, recently, Government of India has made an effort to change this situation. This can be seen as a guidance for all the other departments to change their application forms. The first important change is that single parents are being acknowledged, and in the application form of a child, if only one parent's name is announced, that is more than sufficient. And added to that for orphans and also for sadhus, so they can or else reflect the name of their gurus or their foster home to get a passport. So by and large, this can be seen as citizen friendly. And coming to the CPEC offer. So the CPEC, it stands for China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. Today it is no more a China-Pakistan economic corridor. It has spread across 60 more countries, and it is connecting the East Asia to Central Asia, can get extended beyond Russia directly to the Europe under the One Belt One Road initiative. So today Pakistan is a part of the corridor, and the corridor do not end with the Pakistan. And Iran wanted to see the Gwadar port, which is the part of the China-Pakistan economic corridor, as a sister port for the Chabahar port. The Chabahar port is being developed by India as an alternative route of access to Afghanistan. So, in this context, the Pakistan General has given an offer for India to end the hostilities and join the China-Pakistan economic corridor. And India has its own objections to this because it is going across the Pak occupied Kashmir, which India claims to be its sovereign territory. And the second thing is, India is very much suspicious about the One Belt One Road initiative itself. And in such a situation, India has opposed for all these moves across the international forums. So, why the Pakistan has given this offer to India, and why China has called it as a goodwill gesture? Now, from very beginning, India's role in Balochistan as claimed as a reason for the instability in the region by the Pakistan. By giving this offer, the Pakistan wants to consolidate this. And if India accepts the same, it is also an indirect acceptance of India that it is responsible for the hostilities in Balochistan. So India has to make a cautious step over here. Now coming to Chronicle of Conflict Foretold. Now it is about the recent Manipur blockade. In this, Naga United Council, it is not allowing the goods to pass to the Manipur and blocking all the national highways over there. So there are few questions over here. Why is this happening? Can it be allowed in a federal state? How Northeast is different from the other parts of the country historically? So if you see, a particular ethnic group has made a land as part as is its homeland, and many other ethnic groups, they started settling themselves based on their cultural practices. For example, if you have nomadic tribes, they will be moving from one place to the other place, and they make the different places of the region as their homeland. So, the British administration, after Treaty of Anbo, it has taken up the Assam and Manipur, and it has divided the valley and hill regions with inner line, where the valley regions, fertile regions, are administered by the Britishers, and then the hill regions, these are being given away or they have been left over, and it is left to the local people to administer themselves. Even today, the administration did not reach to these hill regions. This is the root cause of the problem. Now, many of the Naga inhabited regions in Manipur are claimed by the Naga separatist groups as part of their demand for Greater Nagalim. So, in this case, recent division of the districts in this area without the consultation of these groups has led to this furor. And added to that, The people are facing many hardships and it is worsening the ethnic differences among the groups. In this, the Nagas' major objection is to the Kukis, whom they believe that they got settled in their homeland and they cannot be regarded as the equal partners but just only as the tenants on their land according to the Naga claim. So, the major solution to this problem will be engaging the dialogue or engaging all the different groups before any strong administrative action is being taken. So the non-consultation with the stakeholders in the division creation of new 7 districts in this region is the major heartburn for the Nagas and for this situation. Above all, the center and the state, how they have handled the situation also is worrisome. So this is what the article talks about. Neither cultural nor revolutionary. So this article is a rebuke to the Venkaiah Naidu's statement, which has stated that demonetization is a kind of cultural revolution happening in India. It's going to change the face how India does its business and how India operates. Now, the author says that it is neither touching the roots of inequalities in India or is not providing for any major cultural shift. So, a demonetization and digital economy thrust towards the digital economy, it is more seen as technology as a panacea to our problems. The major problem in India in use of technology is it is more seen as a quick fix solution. It means that any problem is there, bring technology, it will solve everything. So once the digital economy pours in, does inequalities decrease? Does the caste barriers, gender barriers, are they are going to done over? So all these questions if posed, nothing, no answer can come up from this area. So a revolution has to come from the people, cannot be imposed by the state. So in such a circumstances, it is neither a cultural nor revolutionary. That's what the author claims as. And coming to the news area, the India journeys from multilateral to bilateral. Now, in this session, NAM was very much in discussion. NSG is in discussion. UN Security Council reforms, Comprehensive Convention on International Terrorism. These are the things which India has been discussed. Also, India has hosted the BRICS Summit and then RICS Summit. It participated in Shanghai Cooperation Organization. But India believes that it did not yield the results it expected from these multilateral bodies. India did not participate in the norm and it is taken as an exception. It is only for the second time a PM, a Prime Minister of India, did not participate over here. And coming to the NSG, yes, India has made 2 unsuccessful attempts. And India also claimed one of the country as obstructionist for India's entry into NSG, referring to China. And the most dangerous part is a kind of equivalence the China tried to bring in between India and Pakistan at the NSG, which is a heartburn to India. And UN Security Council reforms, there is nothing moved forward. And Convention on International Terrorism is also did not move forward. And added to that, at the BRICS Summit, India tried to bring in a declaration that mooted against Pakistan, but however, China and Russia has opposed to this. So the growing Sino-Russian ties, these are redefining this region. And India was admitted into Shanghai Cooperation Organization along with Pakistan. But however, the reciprocity which the China is expecting to get itself admitted into SARC, it is not yet been approved by India. So in this case, India is trying to do the business more on a bilateral terms rather than engaging itself on the multilateral forums. So that's what is the major shift in the diplomacy. That is what is the article talks about. And then China for strategic balance in South Asia. You know that India has tested its mobile launchable Agni 5 intercontinental ballistic missile. So China stated that it is for a strategic balance between in South Asia and in Asia together. So the strategic balance shall not be disturbed for. And India has replied to it. India's capabilities or strategic capabilities are not directed at any other country. It is just for its own defense. So this is what the reaction of the China with regard to this is. So these are the articles for today. And now many of the students have asked me to post the notes. I will be definitely posting you the notes. But I request you to go through these questions and make up your mind. or think on these questions and try to form your own sentences in your own language by understanding the concept. Believe me, it will make a big difference in your ability to write. So please go through these questions. Definitely, I'll give you the notes. Don't worry about the notes. Just go through these questions and start thinking, start answering it in your own words, in your own sentences. These simple sentences which you start to build today, it will help you to present a good answer tomorrow. So these are the baby steps for you. Please try to understand the same. And thank you very much and all the best.